In the post-Gaddafi era, an old general has become a key actor in the complex political scenario of today's Libya. His name is Khalifa Haftar, general of the self-proclaimed Libyan National Army. Some hail him as Libya's new strongman, others accuse him of being a CIA agent or a Gaddafi loyalist. How did Haftar gain power in Libya? First, he had military ties with the old regime. When the revolution erupted in Libya in 2011, starting a civil war, Haftar suddenly appeared in his own country and contributed to the end of Gaddafi's regime. But General Haftar was not a new figure in Libya. Born in 1943 in Ajdabiya, in 1969 he was part of the group of officers led by Gaddafi which seized power from King Idris I. He was defected from the Libyan army in 1987 after a military defeat in Chad. In 1997 he went to exile in Virginia, where probably he cooperated with the CIA to overthrow Gaddafi. His military and tribal ties meant that when he returned to Libya in 2011, Haftar was able to weave a network of alliances among ex-army officers and various tribal factions, which formed the basis for his self-styled Libyan National Army. Second, he took advantage of Libya's institutional weakness after the revolution. After Gaddafi's death in 2011, a transitional government was meant to lead the country toward a democratic constitution. But the new government soon became polarized between Islamist factions and liberal forces, and thus was unable to fulfill its task. The lack of authority of the new political institutions fostered the destabilization of the country, which split into a myriad of armed groups and tribal factions, and the rise of Islamic terrorism. On February 2014, Haftar publicly announced a military takeover and a suspension of the government. Although the coup never happened, he launched Operation Dignity in Benghazi and Tripoli, with the stated objective of ridding the country from Islamic extremism. In April 2014, the population voted for a new parliament, called the House of Representatives. Political divisions deepened, and violence in the capital grew. The House of Representatives, forced to leave Tripoli, convened in Tobruk. Since then, the country has been until now de facto split in two. In December 2015, the UN brokered the Libyan political agreement to bridge the divide. The new accord produced the new Government of National Accord, which replaced the government in Tripoli. Haftar has aligned with the Tobruk parliament and opposed the government in Tripoli, thus hindering the rapprochement proposed by the UN. Third, he gained political recognition by foreign powers. Haftar has financial and military aid from foreign powers such as Egypt, Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, and Russia. This has allowed Haftar to gain control of most of the Cyrenaica in eastern Libya. Moreover, since 2016, he has taken over the oil reserves of the so-called Oil Crescent. This, coupled with his role in the fight against terrorism, has gained him political legitimation by some European leaders. For example, French President Emmanuel Macron considers him as a crucial political figure to solve the Libyan crisis and has invited him at the negotiating table at the Elysee together with Prime Minister of the Tripoli government al-Sarraj. A coup plotter and a defeated soldier, Khalifa Haftar has found fertile ground in Libya's post-revolution chaos to consolidate his position. His connections with the old regime and his ties with external powers have further helped him assert his power. But this mysterious figure is highly unpredictable. In fact, it is unclear whether he wants to establish a Gaddafi-style military regime. He has shown reluctancy to submit to a civil government and complete disregard for human rights. And although he portrays himself as Libya's savior against Islamic terrorism, his military campaign has but further fractionated Libya. Whether he will be able to maintain power in the future is an open question.